Children, we will start with an important chapter, that is chapter 4, the importance of being earnest. The importance of being earnest. This is a story. You can see now here in this story the protagonist of the play, that is protagonist. Who is the protagonist? His name is Jack Worthing. Protagonist is the person who plays the leading character or of the play or a film, or you can say supporter of the film. Okay, he has been living a double existence of the name Ernest. He has also been in the other name, he has also been known as Ernest. However, to his friends he claimed that Ernest is actually his younger brother, who is a spoiled brat. One day Jack decides to end this story. He announces that Ernest has died. However, the same day he is started to find out that a friend is staying at his home as his brother Ernest. Okay, now children, when we'll go through, I'll just have an overview of the story. Just listen to me carefully. Okay, in this story, Jack Worthing, who plays the role of a protagonist, is a pillar of the community or in Hertfordshire, where he is a guardian to Cecily Cardew. Cecily, you can see, Jack's cousin. He is playing the role of a guardian to Cecily, the pretty 18-year-old granddaughter of late Thomas Cardew, who found and adopted Jack when he was a baby. In Hertfordshire, Jack has responsibilities. He is a major landowner and justice of the peace with tenants, farmers, and a number of servants and other employees, all dependent on him. For years, he has also pretended to have an irresponsible black sheep brother named Ernest, who leads a scandalous life, that is a troublesome and very naughty life, bad life, in pursuit of pleasure, just because of his pleasure, and is always getting into trouble of a sort that requires Jack to rush grimly off to his assistance. That is, he was doing such very things that he was always in a trouble, and for that Jack always have to run for behind him and for his help. In fact, Ernest is merely Jack's alibi, a phantom that allows him to disappear for days at a time and do as he likes. No one but Jack knows that he himself is Ernest. Ernest is a name Jack goes by in London, which is where he really goes on these occasions, probably to pursue the very sort of behavior he pretends to disapprove of his imaginary brother. Jack is in love with Gwendolyn Fairfax, the cousin of his best friend Algernon Moncrief. When the play opens, Algernon, who knows Jack as Ernest, has begun to suspect something, having found an inscription behind what? Inscription inside Jack's cigarette case addressed to Jack. Children, now you see. While we go through the chapter, this very play, one by one. Jack Worthing, who is the protagonist, means who plays the leading character of the play, or you can say the supporter of the play. Now, second is Cecily, who is Jack's cousin. Merriman, who is the butler. Butler is the person of the who is in the house, that is the chief manservant of a house, who answers to the phone calls of the house, who greets guests, assists the guests, assists in planning of events and dinner parties, who serve the guests, or you can say the plays a major role in the family. Then is Algernon, who is a friend of Jack. Clear? Now you see, first we'll see scene 1. The living room of Manor House. Mr. Jack Worthing's cousin Cecily is in the garden. Where is Cecily? She is in the garden. Enter butler Merriman with a card on a salver. Salver, what is the meaning of salver? It is a large plate made of metal. First you see who Merriman. Mr. Ernest Worthing is here. He has come from the station. He has his luggage with him. Sorry. He has the luggage with him. Cecily takes the card and reads it. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4. The Albany, Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him that Mr. Worthing is not in the town? Cecily says. Merriman says, yes, miss. Merriman, who is a butler, who answers everything to Cecily. Now he is saying to Cecily, when Cecily asks, did you tell Mr. Merriman, did you tell Mr. Ernest Worthing is here? Did you tell this very person who tells his name as Mr. Ernest that Jack is not here? Yes, miss. He is disappointed. He is very disappointed. I mentioned that Miss Prism and you are in the garden. He is anxious to speak to you for a moment. Now, Cecily says, what does Cecily says by listening to Merriman? Let him come in. In the meanwhile, you talk to the housekeeper and get a room arranged for him. Merriman, yes, miss. Enter Algernon looking very happy. He is a charming young man, Algernon, who was a friend, raising his hat. Are you Cecily, my dear little cousin? Cecily says to Cecily, looking pretty offended. There is something misunderstanding. I am not little. In fact, I am usually tall my age. I see your card that you are Uncle Jack's brother. However, I cannot understand how you are here. You didn't inform us of your visit. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon. Now Cecily is saying, did you know that Uncle Jack, where he will be? He will not come back before Monday. But now next sentence, what does Algernon says? That is a great disappointment. I'll be leaving by the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment to attend. Cecily says, well, if it is a business engagement, that is a business appointment, I will not pester you on waiting. However, I think you should wait until Uncle Jack arrives. I know that he wants to speak to you about your immigration. What is the meaning of immigration? Immigration means act of leaving own country and settling into another country. Uncle Jack wants you to go and settle. Algernon says, what about what? Friend says, about what? Cecily says, your immigration. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia. Now let's see what he says. Algernon says, Australia? I would rather die than travel to Australia. That is, I don't want to travel to Australia, rather I can die. Cecily says, well, he did mention it during dinner on Wednesday night. It is because of your wicked little affairs that he planned on sending you to Australia. Algernon says, oh, well, the accounts I have received of Australia are not particularly encouraging. The world is good enough for me, cousin Cecily, this world. Cecily says, yes, but are you good enough for it? Means when Algernon says to Cecily, no, I don't want to go as it is decided to go to Australia. No, I don't want to go there because that very country is not good. This country where I am here is good, not that country. But then Cecily says, yes, this very country is good, but are you good enough? Because she knew that this very man is a man who always tells lie. This very man is a man who always addresses certain things in his name. Now Cecily says, yes, but are you good enough for it? Algernon says, I am afraid not. That is why I want you to reform me. And that is the reason Algernon says to Cecily, yes, I know what I have done. So I want you that you reform me, that you make me a good person. Okay, children, till page number 45 we have completed in this very video. In my next video, I will be starting from page number 46. Hope you all have understood. If not understood, once again we'll have a review of the this very video in the next video. Okay, please, thank you.